Welcome. My name is Cyndi Williams. I'm known as the Travel Career Coach. I am an advocate, speaker, coach in the travel industry, teaching people how to supersize their travel businesses. And one of the things that I do to support y'all is this weekly live stream. And this month we have the most amazing topic. We're actually doing a series the whole month of March called Moving from Mayhem to Manifesting. So we had an awesome session last week. If you missed that one, definitely go back and check it out. It's on the replay on Facebook. It's also live on our YouTube channel, and you can get those links below later after the video hits replay. So again, welcome. My name is Cyndi Williams. If this is your first live stream, so glad that you found us here, wherever you're watching us from. My purpose is to motivate and inspire people to follow their bliss into abundance. Following your bliss is great, but we all have to make a living, feed our families. Particularly, I do that in the world of travel. I have been in the industry since the 90s. I eat, breathe, sleep, love travel. And quick fun side note, I always, if you're watching on video and not the podcast, I always bring a fun little mug. So I have this insane coffee mug collection. Is this one cute? This is actually just from Starbucks. I didn't even have to travel to get this one. So that's my passion in a nutshell. So without further ado, I want to get started. A couple of quick announcements. One, we are doing a contest today. Sometimes you guys know I do contests, and I found the coolest little treasure on Etsy. And we're at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how you can get one. You can win one for yourself for free. Check this out. It is like one of the little luggage tags from Pan Am, and it's on a nice little plaque, so it's gonna end up going on our YouTube set here in a little bit. But how cute is this? So this is from, well, I'm gonna tell you at the end where it's from, but it's from a really cool designer, Etsy, and we're working with them. We're not sponsored. This is just, you guys know I give stuff away that I love and I use myself. So a little quick plug for that, and you can win one. And they have different city codes, so you can pick the city code if you're the winner of the one that you want. So stay tuned for that at the very end. So last week we talked about breaking free of mayhem. What does that cycle of chaos feel like? How does it, penetrate your world and keep you from being the most productive that you can be? Recognizing you're in that state of mayhem, really getting to a place where you take accountability for it and figuring out how the heck can I change it? How can I get out of this cycle? I can't tell you how many clients I work with where they come to me and they want to scale their travel businesses. And one of their major challenges is how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to manage all my time and my priorities? Well, a big piece of it is automation. That's a whole nother live stream. But this is really about the mental space and understanding how you can make that shift of that dynamic. So again, if you didn't catch last week's, go back and check it. Today, we're going to really be talking about how you set the stage for success. And we're going to give you some really actionable things that you can do, whether you're in travel or not, but particularly, you guys know I always kind of put it in our world. Like, what does this mean if I own a travel business? What does this mean if I work from home? So we're going to talk about how you set the stage for success, creating an environment that is conducive to productivity. A lot of people underestimate that, right? So you can be as productive as possible. Understanding, the next thing we're going to talk about is understanding the ebb and flow of your personal cycle, your personal, how you work, when your energy is in the high place and when it's in the low place, how to understand that phase and that cycle for yourself personally, and how to then plug it into your business. So we're going to get into that, and that's kind of a cool one we haven't talked about ever before. And then we're going to talk about how and why you have to set up your business hours and your business structure in a certain way so you can be as productive as possible and get out of this cycle of mayhem. So really cool stuff we're going to dive in today. Oh, I see we have a bunch of stuff going over on our Facebook on live stream. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Stephanie. Good to see y'all. So many of our awesome grads on the call today. Rock stars. Love it. So let's get right into the first one, which is setting the stage. And I'm going to give you guys like a literal story. So when I was in college, I went to college for theater and business, but my love was really theater. Big surprise, no surprise there, I'm sure. But I mean, like literally, we talk about setting the stage. When I was interning, we had required, so I liked acting, of course, like being on stage, but we had requirements that we had to go and intern behind the scenes and see what it takes at a professional theater, set up a production. And I learned so much because I had, as a stage hand, as they call it, you have to set up the props. You have to check the marking tape. You have to make sure the stage is clear. You have to check the house. You have to make sure all of the scenery and the sets are in the right place so this beautiful, amazing show can come together flawlessly. And that doesn't just happen. Like the actors and people don't just show up and go, oh, let's go out on stage and, throw this play on. I had been, up until that point into college, I had been on stage a lot, but I had not really ever worked backstage. So I started working for Civic Theater in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We'll give them a little plug. They're amazing. And I worked backstage, and I was assigned to James and the Giant Peach. Have you guys seen this play? It's so great. So I was assigned to James and the Giant Peach, and when we did all the stuff, the prep work. One of the things we had to do is we had this giant peach. Like it was, I don't know, it barely, like we had like 5 inches on each side where it would like slide through. It was so big because it was just such a predominant part of the scenery. And so I'm working backstage, I'm dressed in all my black, I got my headset on, all this cool stuff. And we set everything up perfectly. And what happens? It's time to roll the giant peach out. It takes like 5 of us to roll it out. So we're all rolling the peach. And what happens? The peach gets stuck on something in the ceiling, I think it was like a light. I don't know what they call those things they attach the light to, but it got stuck. And we're like, oh my gosh. So the director on the headset's like, what's going on? Why isn't the peach out? It's like this really stressful situation. And I'm like, oh my God, we're like pushing. He's like, don't push. He's like, so they closed the curtain and they just played music. And it took us like 14 minutes to get the peach strapped from where it was and bring it down. So I tell you the story to tell you, like, even when you set up stuff perfectly to make it, the most productive, the best possible, product that you're trying to produce, whether it's in your business or in our case, James and the Giant Peach, right? Sometimes stuff is going to pop up, but when everything else is how it's supposed to be, the big pop-ups, you just handle it and you get through it. But it's way, way, way easier if you have your environment and structure set up in a way that it's conducive. And so when that stuff pops up, it's not, oh my gosh, 1 more million things on top of this, on top of this, on top of this. So you have to do the best you can to set up that positive, effective environment. So I want to give you, some specific things that you can do for your travel business, right? So we're not, obviously you guys aren't probably putting on a production of James and Giant Peach, that's cool. But I'm going to tell you, like, what does that mean for travel and how I operate, how I work with my clients to help them get set up. Think about your stage, and your stage is your environment, okay? So how is your office set up? Is it an inspiring place to work? Do you feel productive in the environment? Do you feel distracted? So look at both sides. So just do an assessment. Like, what does my office setup look right now? Are you working off the couch? And maybe that's effective, maybe it's not, but just consider, what is my environment and is it the most productive it could be? Do you have the right equipment? This is a big one. Like, do you have a computer that functions properly and internet speed that works for you? And if you don't, those things are causing unnecessary stress and chaos and mayhem, which is what we're getting out of. So sometimes, yeah, it takes $100, a couple $100 to fix something technologically that's going to improve your everyday business, moments of your business every day. Do it. Like, that's a no-brainer. do you have the tools that you need? Have you had the proper training, resources, you know, steno pads, however you like to work in your travel business? Do you have the things you need to be most productive? And the last piece is, and this is kind of a tough one for people, because sometimes they'll come to me and they don't even know the questions to ask about how to run their travel business. And automation is a huge one. Again, I'm not talking about automation or drilling into that today. We have other videos out there and stuff about that. But a lot of you are duct taping solutions together trying to run your travel business. Like, a lot of you run at hobby level, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no judgment. If it makes you happy, 1000% do that. But even if you're running at hobby level, there are things that you can do to get a better result out of your hobby level business. And if you are trying to run it as a full-time business, you had better be automated. So a lot of you are using an email provider over here, and then a CRM over here, and then a book over here, or worse even yet, you're keeping all your clients in paper files or Excel. That is not productive. You can't be marketing properly. Your systems aren't working together. It's not flowing. That's creating an entire layer of chaos you do not need in your business. So really assess those things that are bringing that chaos on in your environment. Marcy said, steno pads. Marcy and I started back together in the 90s. Marcy was actually my supervisor, y'all. And back then, you know, we had a CRM and a membership system, but we're all given this big stack of steno pads, and we were trained. You put the information, you put the city codes, blah, 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 and then you draw a line, and then you do the next one, so you could keep all of your notes straight. And you had to keep those for months in case you had to go back. Anyway, that is a totally like ineffective system, right? Because that was what was the best back in the 90s. But in today's environment, if you like to take notes and keep notes, that's fine. But as far as your marketing and things like that, you have to make sure everything is cohesive, it's running smoothly, and then your business starts to work for you instead of you feeling like a slave to your business all the time, right? So keep that in mind. Hey, Jen. Hey, Stacy. I see everyone's joining, so hello. So think about those things that are causing that chaos. What is on your stage, right? And how can you adjust that? So those are some very actionable things you guys can think through and make changes on that will improve your business immediately. The next topic I really want to drill into today, and this is one I haven't gotten into on a deep level. Some of my clients, will do this, but I wanted to introduce it today because it's been a big topic actually in our mastermind lately. People struggling with time management. Someone asked me yesterday, like, Cyndi, how do you have time to do all the stuff you do? I see videos on YouTube and Facebook, and you run your own successful travel agency, and you have all these employees, and all this stuff is happening. How the heck do you have time? And people are shocked to learn, like, my work days are really Tuesday through Thursday. Monday is my work on my business day, and Fridays I generally maybe I work a little, but usually I'm going out to lunch with my husband. We kind of prepare for the weekend. And they're like, no way, like, how can you possibly pull that off? And, you know, the answer is I had to get really clear on understanding how I work, setting up my environment like we just talked about, automation, but really the first step before any of this is understanding your own personal rhythm, your own personal ebb and flow. And this is different for everybody. So what do I mean by ebb and flow? So, and this is what most people do, right? Especially those of you who are working a job and have your travel business, you're like, go, 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 go. You never have downtime. You are trying to go, 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 because you're trying to, and look, I respect it. You're trying to get ahead. You got that hustle going on. I love it. I was you just 5 years ago, 10 years ago for sure. Like, from the day I started working when I was 14, right? So, and I had like 3 jobs. I waitressed, I did insurance quotes, I went to school, I was in plays. I always had crazy stuff going on. And one is I like to be productive, but especially I can be so guilty of the go, go, go. All of us have, but 5 years ago, it was really in a bad cycle of like, I would go, 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 and then you crash. You go, 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 and then you crash. You either get sick, you literally have to take a nap, you have to take a day off of work, and you have to go back and assess, like, when you're in that go, go, go mode, you get run down, are you making good decisions in that run down place? A lot of times you're not. So versus staying in that go, go, go mode where, and not to mention, does it burn you out? Does it make you crash? it actually does not help your productivity. There's actually a better way to do this. And this is where the mindset stuff comes in. This is where the workflow stuff comes in that I train. But understanding the real gift of being able to work from home, the real gift of being your own boss, and really doing this in a way that feels like I'm living my best life, is you have to get that balance. And the beautiful thing is, once you have the balance, you're actually more productive. And guys, I get it. Like, it seems counterintuitive. You're like, no, go, 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 work more, work more, work more. But if you understand your cycles of when you work best and when your body and your mind need downtime, and you give your body and mind that downtime, you will be more productive in your upswing. Nobody can stay on the upswing, on the flow, on a solid pace. It just doesn't exist. And if it does, like, those are people, you know, you're just crashing. That's what's going to happen. So a better solution to that, and a better lifestyle, my goodness, a better lifestyle, is to figure out what your ebb and flow is. So how do you do this? It's actually pretty easy, because you guys, if you think about it and take some time to reflect on your life, you have to think about, when am I most creative? When am I most productive? When do I get my best work done? That's your flow time in your cycle, daily or weekly, right? For me, it's mornings. And sometimes I have to get up earlier than I want to when I'm adding stuff to my schedule or trying to accomplish big projects. It always gets, plugged in the morning. But I know, for me, fresh off of that first cup of coffee, I am in my most creative state. I make decisive, good, strong decisions. I create content that is amazing. Versus in the afternoon time, when, morning I'm doing, busy, running, taking care of kids, doing all this other stuff. Then I work with clients for the majority of the day. Is it good for me to go right back into work at 6 or 7 o'clock at night and try to do stuff? That's what I did for years, and it burnt me out. Like, I ended up in the hospital with having what I thought was a heart attack was actually a panic attack. And I'm like, I don't have panic attacks. I'm a type A, right? So that doesn't happen to me. But literally what I learned was, the work I'm producing in that time where my body really needs downtime is not good. Like, it's not the best of what I can do and offer to the world. So, and, I give my husband like full credit, because he's the one who really helped me probe me out of the cycle. He's like, don't set your travel business up for the same way you've been running this other one, because I see you and you never stop. You go. And it is such a temptation, because for those of you who are in travel, you're usually in travel because it's your passion. And it's the same thing for me. Like, I love travel. I love what I do. And so I'm always thinking about it. I'm always like, what's the next thing? What can we do? How can we grow? How can we help people? And it is a temptation. But what I've learned is, if I take that time to just have my downtime, read a book on Sunday afternoons, have the time in the afternoon. My downtime and every day is like late afternoon, early evening when the kids are coming home. I'm not producing anything good. So that's my family connection time, where we just check in and kind of, chill and relax. And then, once in a while I'll get a creative spurt where I want to edit late at night, and that's fine. But most of the time, that's like my downtime cycle. So figure out what that cycle is for you. When are you creative? When do you do the best work? When do you need that shutdown time? And make sure you guys are scheduling this stuff. Schedule, just like you're going to schedule your time where you're going to be productive. I want you to schedule your downtime too. Right? So think about, what can I do for self-care? What can I do on a weekly basis that can help me get that balance back? And I promise it will work, because you cannot, one of my favorite quotes is, you cannot pour from an empty vessel. If you are empty, you are no good to your family. You are no good to your clients. You are no good to yourself. So you have to fill yourself up, strike that balance. And then your business you're not going to burn out on this business. And this is where corporate gets it wrong, right? And that's the other thing, like corporate, they're like, these are the hours we work. You better be productive. And that's why new models, guys, like this Uber model and crowdsourcing stuff where people can work when they want, that's why they're so successful, because people can kind of come in and plug and play. It's the same thing in our business. Figure out when your flow time is compared to your ebb time, and that will do wonders in your business. The last thing is, I want you guys, now that once you understand your cycle, once you understand when you're going to work the most productive and when you're going to need downtime, I want you to be really clear about setting your business hours. Setting your business hours, setting the time you're going to work on your business. And so let's go through this like in a real life scenario. Things that require a lot of creativity in our business are putting together your marketing plan, researching itineraries. A lot of time, let's say you're doing an FIT, a fully independent tour in Europe, and you're having to schedule, you know, a crazy itinerary. That requires creativity and thinking and out of the box and solutions, right? Presenting quotes is another thing that requires a lot of energy, like getting on the phone and being upbeat and getting excited about destinations and talking to your clients. Here's how most of you guys are operating today. You get a call, you call the client back, you hurry up and you do the quote. And you have these clients pop up all the time. Your clients are dictating your life. Your clients are dictating your schedule. And that you think you're being of the utmost service to your client, when in actuality, if you shift a few things, you're going to be able to show up, be more present, be more productive, and close better if you just do your quotes in a condensed frame when it's in one of your flow cycles or when you're most productive. So what does that mean, Cyndi? Like, how do I put this crap together, right? Pick a day pick the days and times you're going to do your researching. Pick the days and times you're going to do your quoting. Pick the days and times that you're going to put your marketing plan together. If you group these things together, then your clients aren't running you wild, right? You're like, oh, great, you know, and let them know, here's the next availability I have to meet. Will that work for you? And that make sure it's in one of those times that you've picked out. So think through how your week looks right now. If you're jumping from quote to quote and client to client and all this stuff, like, yeah, you can make money that way, but do you feel great about it? Like, I promise you, when you get it on the structure, it's way easier. Like, we do a lot of our, quotes sometimes on video, right? So if you have one day where you're doing all your quotes, that's one day you have to do hair and makeup, and then that's, you know, half an hour you get back in the rest of your life the rest of the week. That's just a small example. But think about that for your business. How can you group this stuff and rearrange it so you're giving your best when you have to do the hardest stuff? So think about that in how you set up your schedule. And especially if you guys have other jobs, you really need to assess, like, if I work all day at my corporate job, can I take quotes every single night? It's probably not realistic. You should probably pick 2 nights that you do your prospecting or your quoting or your qualification calls or stuff like that. So think about that and get a new structure in place. I promise you it will help you so much. So let's see what else I have on my fun list. You guys know I make so many fun notes for you guys. Oh, I schedule your ebb cycle. We talked about that earlier, but I actually had it on an extra note here. Make sure a walk, go to the spa, take movies. Make sure you're scheduling that in when you put the structure together. I'm telling you that again because it's that important. So guys, make sure these, as you're adjusting to this new cycle, the whole goal of this month is to get out of mayhem and into manifesting. So last week we talked about the chaos, how it impacts you, why it's so important to get out of that cycle. This week we're talking about really what are the tangible things you can do to get yourself out of that cycle. Next week we're going to be talking about manifesting. And if you haven't heard the term manifesting before, I'm sure you've heard it, but if you haven't ever implemented it, some people call it entrepreneurial mindset, some people call it mindsetting, but it's really, I want a result to show up in my business. How do I do that? So, and not just through like, whoa, rainbows and unicorns. No, like this is serious stuff, running 6-figure plus portable, profitable businesses, right? So if this stuff is resonating, guys, definitely make sure you're catching the live stream every week. But even more importantly, if you are really serious about growing and you're looking for something more and you're looking to grow your business as fast as possible, reach out to me at careersonvacation.com/ready now, book a free discovery call with my team. We can talk through where your business is right now, what you need to do to kind of get to the next level. And also check out our free masterclass, careersonvacation.com/masterclass. It's a totally free class. If you've never been in the travel industry before, it teaches you how to get into the industry. And even for those of you that are in the industry and thinking about launching off on your own or maybe not hosting anymore, it teaches you the different ways to get in, but also how to monetize your business, the 5 shifts you need to make to really get into that 6-figure portable profitable world. And look, I promised a prize. We're doing such a fun prize today. So this little guy I showed you guys at the beginning of the video, it's a cool plaque. I found this artist on Etsy. We're not sponsored. It's from a company called Crestfield Home. And I'm going to put the Etsy link below. But here's the cool thing. My mission is to reach as many travel agents, travel professionals, agency owners as possible to help you guys grow your businesses. So to enter yourself for the contest where you're going to get one of these plaques and you get to pick the city code of any one of the codes that they offer, I'm paying to have it shipped to your home wherever you are. All you have to do to enter the contest is take this live stream and forward it. Forward it and put it on your agency page or on your friends and family page for anyone. So it touches anyone that is trying to grow or thinking about getting into the travel industry. There's enough abundance for all of us, right? Travel is I think the new number is $8 billion or something like that last year. There's enough for all of us to be hugely successful in this business, and that's what my mission is. So guys, if you're not already following us on YouTube, Instagram at Wanderlust CEO, follow us in those different places, and over on YouTube we have secret content. And if you're just listening to this format in podcast or something like that, go over to Facebook on Careers on Vacation and join our page, our group page called Careers on Vacation, where we support travel professionals across the world. So thank you for everyone. I see all of your cool posts. Brenda says, I love this. Good morning. Good morning. If you guys are watching this later, just go ahead and post a cool comment, and I'll see you guys next week. I wish you the world. I love you so much. So much love and abundance to you and everyone watching. Bye, guys.